What is up, fantasy managers and Vikings fans? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Network. And it's your boy Steve here at Dynasty Life Fantasy Football. And I'm here to bring you the week one scout team report on the Minnesota Vikings. And we've got a great matchup this week with one of our rivals, of course, the Green Bay Packers. We're playing at home, so not worried about any kind of weather issues as we have that retractable dome. Also, not really any injury concerns going into week one as well. We've got Irv Smith just coming back from injury, but other than that, we've got nothing to worry about here. But let's start off with the QB who we have at the helm, Mr. Kirk Cousins, Mr. Captain Kirk himself. Expect a great year this year. New offensive scheme, supposed to be more pass happy. I expect him to throw anywhere between 35 to 40 TDs. Um, and I expect them to showcase that in this first week, to really go through that new offensive scheme and really show, everybody what we can do. So I'm excited for Captain Kirk, especially this week. I have him going for about 300 yards, two TDs. But let's move on to the backfield. Let's get over to Dalvin Cook. Okay. Dalvin Cook is a guy that you're playing every week. It does not matter who's out there, what defense is out there. We're playing Dalvin Cook every week. Last year, only 6 touchdowns. We expect him to get back into that double digit form as he has been in years past. We also expect him to catch some more passes out of the backfield and out of the slot in this new offensive scheme. So that's exciting as a fantasy football manager. That's what you want out of your running backs, giving you that extra upside, that they can finish that top five area. Workhorse guy. So yeah, we're playing Dalvin Cook no matter what. You can mark him down for almost 100 yards rushing, maybe another 20 or 30 receiving with a touchdown in there. And that's what you can expect from Dalvin Cook there, about 18 to 20 carries, maybe 3 to 5 targets. So he's going to have plenty of opportunities, and that's what you want. Moving on to wide receivers, let's get into Justin Jefferson. JJ, very well could finish the wide receiver one this year in fantasy football. And he's seeing anywhere from 10 to 14 targets a game. You can lock him in for at least 7, 8 catches, 100 yards easily. Again, another guy that we are playing every week, no matter what, in Justin Jefferson. So we expect big things from him this year, especially in this game. So I'm really excited. I know he's really excited. But moving on to his guy across from him now, his counterpart, Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen is a guy that he was a top 10 guy, 2 years ago? Um, and 14 touchdowns? I mean, 10 touchdowns last year before he got hurt. So he was very well on his way to produce another, maybe wide receiver one or at least wide receiver two season. Obviously, he got hurt, so that didn't pan out, but still 10 touchdowns. He's a touchdown machine. You can start him in confidence in your flex easily. I'd be very confident in him, especially again in this new offense where they're going to be more pass heavy. So Thielen's a great play for the flex. Let's move on to another guy, KJ Osborne. KJ Osborne is a guy that I'm not starting, so I wouldn't start him. Keep him on your bench if you even have him drafted. Unless you're in deeper leagues, that's the only reason why you should have him on your team. Or if Adam Thielen goes down, KJ Osborne can step up just like he did last year and produce for you. But he's a guy that we're not starting going in. I do expect the Packers to run the football a little bit more, run a little bit more clock. So I don't expect a lot of opportunities for Osborne to produce. He could have, one huge play or something like that, but there just won't be many opportunities with JJ Thielen and Cook around. Which moves us to our next guy, which is Irv Smith, who is supposed to be a big part of the offense as well. Just coming back from injury. So I'm not starting Irv Smith this week. I know there's just better options out there. He's a guy you just kind of have to wait and see. Let's see what his role exactly will be in this offense. So yeah, we're not starting Irv Smith this year. And I guess let's talk about the defense. We're definitely not starting the defense. Do not start the defense. We were just horrendous last year. Obviously, we've got a new coaching scheme in there. Obviously, we've got a few new guys as well. We've got Daniil Hunter coming back. But yeah, let's not start the defense this week. That they could be more of a streaming option going forward against bad teams. But especially this week going against the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, a guy who just does not turn the ball over much. So don't start the defense this week. I don't expect anything, big from them. but we'll have to just kind of wait and see going forward. Um, Now, I know a lot of you playing like IDP leagues. I do as well, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight on that. Daniil Hunter, of course, is a guy that we're starting. We're starting him every week. Doesn't matter who they're going against. I mean, the last 2 years, he's had what 14 and a half sacks each year, 70 plus tackles. So he's an easy play, great play for IDP league. I mean, he's a guy, that, of course, that you can start every week. Like I said, Zadarius Smith coming over from Green Bay. He was hurt last year. I mean, his last two healthy seasons, he had like 12 and a half and 13 and a half sacks, if I'm not mistaken. He's got some great chemistry with Hunter already. But that being said, he's a guy I'm not going to be starting yet. He's another guy. You just kind of have to wait and see how he's going to be used in that defense. And of course, with Hunter there, I just expect Hunter to hog up absolutely everything. So I'm not sure how much exactly will be left there, for Zadarius Smith to be, starting in your lineup in the IDP league. And that's the only D line guys really that we're talking about as far as the IDP. Moving on to linebacker, we've got Eric Hendricks, one of the best in the business, one of the best linebackers out there. He's an easy IDP play. One of the best linebackers in the league. Like I said, 143 tackles last year, if I'm not mistaken, 5 sacks. So he's a very, very strong IDP play, just a tackling machine. And if the Packers run the ball a lot, which I feel like they will, with Dylan and Aaron Jones, he could be in for a huge game, tackling wise. We've also got a new guy in that linebacker system, Jordan Hicks, coming over from Arizona. He had a good year last year. But just like Zadarius Smith, he's a guy that I'm not starting. We need to see what exactly he's going to be doing on this defense. So we're not playing him. He's another guy you kind of have to wait and see there. And in the secondary, as far as the DBs, the only guy worth talking about in any kind of IDP league is going to be Harrison Smith. And Harrison Smith, of course, one of the best DBs, best safeties in the game. Okay, he had a career year in tackles last year, and this year in this new scheme, he'll be kind of roaming the field, what he does best. He'll be doing what he does best, roaming the field up at the line of scrimmage, confusing QBs, disguising coverages, and of course, without Devontae there, Aaron Rodgers might be forced into a few bad throws, some throws that he might not normally make, but he has to now because he doesn't have that guy in Devontae Adams that he can just kind of lean on. And we don't know if Alan Lazard is playing as well. So, I do like Harrison Smith as an IDP play, of course, with his tackling, he'd be great. So anyway, that's going to be the week one outlook on the Minnesota Vikings fantasy wise. So that's your scout team report for week one. Catch me next week for the week two scouting report. But Skull Vikings, baby.